Hello, everybody. It is RM here. It is a beautiful Saturday morning. It is May 6th, 2023 here. I am in New York. It is 10 a.m. And I've just watched the most incredible coronation ceremony of King Charles and Queen Camilla. And as you guys know, I was up very late last night on midnight musing, so I have not gotten very much sleep. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have dark circles under my eyes, but it didn't stop me while I was on musings last night to put on my tiara and get into the festive spirit of this historical coronation. Good morning to you, Jose. Good morning. And good morning to everybody who is up this morning very early. Those of us who live in countries where it is a different time zone. We were up for it. We were up for this incredible coronation, historical coronation of King Charles and Queen Camilla today. And it's pretty much one of the most important ceremonies for those of us who especially are from Commonwealth realms, which is where my family is from, the islands of St. Lucia, a Commonwealth realm. Hello, Screen Pundit. Good morning to you. And hello, Jose. Good morning to you both. Certainly, good morning to you. This is such an incredible day, such an incredible event that we have seen this morning. And hello, Heather S. Hello, says Heather S says, good morning, guys. Good morning to you. Hello, Thalia. How are you, my dear Thalia? Always great to see you here. It is RM, and I am in my tiara. My mother and I have just watched the coronation of King Charles and Queen Camilla, like many of you have. We've watched it a few times. We have been enjoying this. Hello, Mikey Lito. So good to see you this morning, Mikey Lito. Hope you are well. Always great to see you here on the channel. Thoughts on fitness with Nige. Hi, Nige. So good to see you all out here today. Good tea, nice house. Good morning to you. So great to see you. And Heather S shares my sentiments exactly. Congratulations to our British cousins on your new monarch. And it is a celebration for all of us, those of us who are Anglophiles, those of us who love the British royal family. There are many of us out there, and this stream is for all of us who enjoy the monarchy, do want to celebrate that. Hello, Jane. Thank you, RM from Hertfordshire, UK. Well, hello, Jane. Such a pleasure to see you this morning. Thank you for stopping by. Certainly, this is such an incredible event that we have seen today. And, we've been waiting for this event. Of course, no one's been waiting longer than King Charles himself. But for those of us who have been following the monarchy, and there's so much to say today in the stream. I do want to say, for those of us who have been waiting, it is such a wonderful day for King Charles, who's been waiting for so long for this day to come. And I have to be honest with you, as you all know, many of you know, I just came back from the UK a few weeks ago. I had a wonderful time in the UK. I knew that the coronation was taking place today, but I truly contemplated the thought of flying back to the UK, being there for the coronation. Unfortunately, I'm still not well enough. I had to go to my doctor yesterday just to be checked out, and I was told that I still need more rest. So, guys, I wanted every ounce of my body, every cell in my body wanted to be in the UK for this coronation, but I just couldn't do it. But I did want to say that my heart certainly was there. As you all know, my family is from a British Commonwealth realm. It's a Commonwealth realm now. They are independent. St. Lucia is the island where my family is from. And on occasions like this, my mother and I get dressed up. I am dressed up in a beautiful spring dress, which you can't see the whole thing because I'm sitting down. But I have my tiara on, guys. I had my other tiara on last night. It was a little too tight. The tiara was a little too tight. This is just a celebration of enjoying events that we feel are so significant in history, but also very important to me personally, because I love the British royal family. I am an Anglophile and I love everything about it. So I did just want to mention and come on the air today and what is going to be a day that we're all always going to remember. We haven't had a day like this in how many years did they say it was? 75 years? Perhaps I'm wrong on the date, but it hasn't been since Queen Elizabeth's coronation so many years ago that we had a celebration like this. Absolutely. Thalia, watch the coronation live on TV2. Yes, Thalia, right there with you. I was so pleased as punch that this is a day and age that we can experience the coronation internationally. We can watch it alongside, our British brothers and sisters in this. This has been so wonderful to experience. My mother is here. She's resting. I've been up for almost all night. I am really exhausted, but I couldn't help myself. I had to come on here and just boast about how wonderful it was to see this coronation. And Heather S says, I was so impressed that this coronation was pulled together so quickly. Heather, I agree with you. I think that what we saw is such an incredible historical event, and it means so much to us. It means so much to be able to even watch it. It's such an honor to be inside of that church to see what's going on. Oh my gosh, I'm tearing up. Um, Thoughts on fitness with Nige says this makes me so proud. I'm in Warwickshire in the UK. The last thing I was expecting to see was the Burnettwork, and I don't mean this disrespectfully to be celebrating this made my day. Well, you know something, thoughts on fitness with Nigel. I did want to mention to you, I am the creative content director here at the Burnettwork. It's RM here. It is me. And Nigel, I am a huge Anglophile. As I said, my family, most of my family is from the Caribbean. And of course, you are well aware that we have strong ties to Europe, especially the UK. And of course, Nigel, it is such a pleasure to see you here this morning, Nige, all the way from Warwickshire. We do appreciate our history and I value it. And I felt it was important for me to get on to the Burnettwork as well as my channel, Positive Fandom, to mention that there are those of us who are so proud about what's going on right now. So, Nige, I'm so glad to be here, the person acknowledging that from the Burnettwork. It is my pleasure. And we do see the significance of this here on the channel. Federation Media. Hello, Federation Media. Good day to you as well. Thalia says, my mom and I loved the Queen, but I'm so happy for King Charles and Queen Camilla right now. And yes, Thalia, we are going to talk about this because there is quite a lot to talk about how things have changed, I think, for the better. Thalia, don't you agree? How wonderful it is that Charles and Camilla are starting this new role in their lives and pretty much a new role in the nation and in the world. Because for so many years, I'm so many of you admire Queen Elizabeth and what she stood for and how she continued to rule with dignity. I think this is such a joyous occasion right now to be at this point. Yes. Yes, Jane. Yeah, I'm still very teary-eyed and emotional from a lot of this. We know that there are going to be changes and the monarchy will go on, but it is very emotional. I'm getting emotional. Okay. I'm getting emotional about all of this. It's been an emotional year, so to speak. And it is so important to see these things happen. And these are kind of the important things, not just in the world, but also in our lives, this community here on the Burnettwork, also on Positive Fandom, but for all of us here. Good tea, nice houses. I'm so curious as to what was going through Prince George's head as he walked behind his grandpa. Yeah, this is something to think about, what their future will be. I think it is a bright future, isn't it? Good tea, nice house, so bright. Albion says, "Hope you enjoyed the coronation from the UK." Well, I absolutely loved it, Albion. I have to say, I just thought it was amazing. Black Superwoman, hi, Black Superwoman. How are you this morning? Good to see you, my dear. You look lovely. My question is he the head? Is why is he the head of the church? Because that's what they decided to do in the country. So I guess that's what they're going to do. I don't know whether I think I could be monarch, but I don't know whether I could be head of a church. It seems like a lot of pressure. And of course, part of it has to do with having to lead people religiously, right? That is a huge responsibility. Black Superwoman, thank you for your kind words. Always a pleasure to see you, my dear. And yeah, this is something to think about. Maybe something that could be altered or if they wanted to. But Black Superwoman, I think the sky's the limit as to the way the monarchy is going to be. It's a new monarchy for a new age, and we are the ones here who are witnessing everything from the beginning. Dahlia says, I 100% agree. What a happy end. Yes, absolutely. Thoughts on Fitness with Nigel? Just got back from Asia. They are celebrating hard. The Commonwealth love our monarchy. Absolutely. And of course, I did notice, I saw the St. Lucian flag on several times. I saw all the Commonwealth flags. It is important to those of us who are in the Commonwealth realm or descendants of the Commonwealth realm who still value that. I noticed that right away. I saw the St. Lucian flag. So it does, it really is, we do feel that we are part of this. We don't feel separate from this. I do want to mention that for those of us who support the monarchy, we absolutely feel that this is a celebration, obviously, for the monarchy, for England, but also for all the nations and people who support it. So, um, thank you, Nige. And Cardinal Sin. Hey, Gil, how are you, my dear? Gil, how are you this morning? Cardinal Sin for $1.99 super chat says, "My lady, Rrr Mmmm." Well, Cardinal Sin, the master of science fiction and fantasy, and certainly someone who is an avid collector, whose collection certainly is one to celebrate. Cardinal Sin, I hope you are well. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. So appreciate it. And we appreciate you, Cardinal Sin, for being such a great member of the PGS and of the science fiction community. Good to see you. OG fan when Star Wars was just Star Wars. Yes. OG fan mentions this. It's a huge question, goes back to Henry the VIII, the Protestant Reformation, the schism in England with the Catholic Church. It's good reading. Now, I do want to mention, guys, that was raised as a Roman Catholic, although my mother was raised as a Protestant. I was raised as a Roman Catholic, so I am kind of a committed Roman Catholic, but I still do support the Church of England. I certainly don't have any qualms with that at all. But it is a very good question. And thank you, OG fan, when Star Wars was just Star Wars. So good to see you. Continues on to say, good morning, Artem. Well, good morning to you, OG fan, when Star Wars was just Star Wars, celebrating the coronation here. He won't get 70 years to leave his mark, so William better be ready sooner than later. Yeah, and you know something? I do want to mention something about that. Black Superwoman, you make such a good point, my dear, about this. What I wanted to say was this. While it is true that Charles will not get 70 years to make his mark on this, one thing I do want to say is that he has had influence even when he was not king, all of these years being the prince. And, you know, I heard on one broadcast where one of the announcers had said that people thought he was a little too eccentric when he suggested recycling glass. And I could be getting that slightly wrong, but I do think I understand what they're referring to. Of course, people have been recycling bottles forever, but I think it is very interesting that, you know, Charles has always wanted to do and be progressive and do things. And, you know, you're limited when you are King Charles. You can't just go ahead, excuse me, when you're the prince, you can't just do everything that you want to. Um, I think it's so important that now he has a chance to kind of make his mark. You're Episcopalian. Yes. Thank you so much, Black Superwoman. Many of you out there are. And Nige says it's a new era. You know what? It's been raining heavily here in the UK, but the moment makes the weather meaningless. It does seem to melt away, doesn't it, Nige? Albion says William and Kate are very popular. They certainly are extremely popular in the UK. I'm so glad that that is the case. They are obviously the next generation coming up. And of course, there's a lot of great expectations for them going forward. Um, yes, you're faster than me to answer. Well, you know something? That is something to think about. And Heather S. says Charles has set up his farms to be very productive. That's right. He has been doing things in his way and through the Prince's Trust before this. Let's say before, I think his son has to take over the Prince's Trust, right? Now that he is King Charles. And it has been pretty much his whole life that he's been doing that. Gordon Fiala says monarchy is no better than neo-capitalist corporate every day. In every day, long live the king. Yes, Gordon Fiala, thank you so much for stopping by this morning. And of course, we are talking about our thoughts on King Charles and Queen Camilla coronation today on this wonderful May 6th. 2023, a date in history that we're always going to remember. Um, it is, oh, I had no idea that medieval English history is your forte. The high school I went to, Mary Lewis, we pretty much, our high school song was about King Louis beneath the fleur de lis, the Crusader King. Um, and that was a big part of our high school. I went to an all girls Catholic high school. And so I think it's interesting that your medieval English history is your forte. OG Star Wars when Star Wars was just Star Wars. Um, yes. Black Superwoman says, I wish I had been able to live in England under Queen Elizabeth, but maybe I'll get there by the time William is king. Well, yes. And as you guys know, I did take a trip to Star Wars Celebration to the UK a few weeks ago. And as I said, I couldn't stay or go back because I just wasn't feeling well enough. You know, this happens sometimes. You can't do that. It would have been nice to have flown back for the weekend, been there for a few days and come back. It really was something that is memorable, something that many of us will never forget. And I did want to mention some of the things that come to mind um, when I think about the coronation. And of course, this is really the first coronation I've ever seen in real time. So at least for the British monarchy, perhaps there have been other coronations of other monarchs outside of here, but this is the first British one I've ever seen. And I'm excited that we all got a chance to see that. Oh, you used to be Catholic. Oh, interesting. You went to Catholic school in elementary. Yes, as did I, and so many of us here, all of us who may or may not have gone to a Catholic school. I hear you, Black Superwoman. Interesting that you converted. My mother did the opposite. She converted to Catholicism. But regardless, it's great to have you here and talk about these different changes going on. Certainly something to think about when it comes to someone who is now the new head of the church, as many of you have mentioned. And I also think that what's very interesting about this is that we did get an inside look of this coronation. When I was in the UK just a few weeks ago, I managed to go to Windsor Palace, Windsor Castle. I think it's called Windsor Palace. And while I was there, if it wasn't Windsor, it was Blenheim Palace. I noticed that they had a number of different types of ceremonial robes on display. I was very surprised to see this because I don't normally see, robes like this. These are coronation robes that I was seeing. I had no idea that I would be seeing coronation robes. And I had to ask the question while I was there at the palace. I said, these look very special. What's going on? Why do you have all this on display? And I was told very, very specifically that the reason why I was seeing things like this and other types of robes and regalia was in preparation for the coronation. Here are some photos. I didn't really show these to anybody. Here you can kind of see, and I'm sorry it's reflecting, but um, just coronation photos, coronation robes. And I did get to see Queen Elizabeth's coronation robe that she wore when she became queen. And so I did ask, I said, is the coronation robe for Charles here? I think they said yes. I got a picture of it. So I got to see those robes even before the ceremony took place. And it was put out there for someone like me, who went to England, wanted to see these coronation regalia, all of the incredible things that go along with this historic event. So I was quite pleased with that, knowing that although I wouldn't be there for the actual event, I did see some incredible pieces that really kind of set the tone, if you will, of what was to come in here. I'm so sorry that it's so the reflection quality is bad, but I got to see some incredible garments. Here's the one that Queen Elizabeth wore. You can see her thing. It looks very similar to what Charles had on, but that's the one that Queen Elizabeth had. And I realized how important this entire thing was for me. Black Superwoman says that she was 16 when Elizabeth was crowned. Yes. And we've all seen the video of Queen Elizabeth during that coronation day. And I did also want to mention that while I was at Windsor Castle, I did get a chance to um, pay my respects to the late Queen as she is interned there. And it was also a very emotional moment to be at the place where she is interned. So I did want to mention that. Now, since today is a joyous occasion, I do kind of want to focus on the joy of it all. She was a wonderful queen, and now this is our new era. Um, and you don't have to translate the whole thing. No, no, you don't. But that is a good point. So, I kind of had to come on here because this really is such an incredible thing for us all to see right now. And the tradition of passing the torch from one monarch to another um, is clearly being preserved in the British monarchy. It is also evident in other monarchies as well across the globe. But this one, since I am, as I mentioned, part of a Commonwealth realm, feels very connected, feels part of a lot of what's important to us. And I did want to get on here and talk about some things that I noticed and some things that I thought were pretty important about this event. And so, one of the things I wanted to say is I think that the tradition of what we've seen, and certainly all of the parties involved, including the bishops and everyone who needed to stand and be present while the coronation was taking place, felt very important, but it also felt very modern today. It didn't feel like something from ages ago. These coronation ceremonies have been going on for a long time. Yeah, I think you're right. Most of us will live long enough to see William crowned a Black Superwoman, and then I'll be doing another video about that. Maybe I'll be able to make it over there then. And hello to Disney Fan 96. Hope you are well, and welcome to the channel. I also want to mention that it is nice to see the family together. And let's say, this is an event where everybody needs to come together and show support for what is happening. That was very important to witness. And we could see by the looks on all the participants' faces, the pride that they had, and how much they do support everyone here. And hello, Gary Wilson. Bring on King William. Yes, Gary. And that is the inevitable outcome that will happen, right? Um, so certainly that will be something that is going to happen. So hello, S Beam. S Beam. Sure, good to see you this morning. Hope you are well, S Beam. Yes, you must be as tired as I am, because I am exhausted after staying up and watching, obviously on Midnight Musings last night here on the Burnettwork for 3 hours. And then, of course, oh my goodness, going on to the next, almost immediately, and a few hours later, to the coronation. Um, I'm sure she did. And thank you, Gary Wilson, for stopping by. Oh, interesting, Black Superwoman. I had no idea that you were planning on going there. Certainly, let us keep in contact with us and let us know um, when you will be going over. It would be wonderful to keep in contact with you and everything that you are doing. Yes, I was stunned to see you on. Amazing. Oh, yes. So I am an Anglophile, Nige. And if you go to Positive Fandom, you'll notice that I have a whole section on a historical monarchy. And it is mainly the British monarchy, although I have some other videos that I haven't posted yet about the historical monarchy and its importance, in particular to me, and I think to many people. I'm so glad that you're seeing that we do have uh, people who are um, proud of the British monarchy and proud to be a Commonwealth realm. So that is what you're seeing here. Tom Jr. Jackson says hello. Well, hello, Tom. I don't know how you are up right now. It is so early, Tom. I know it was 6 hours last night. I don't know how you did it, but honestly, Tom, I didn't get any rest because I was watching this whole program live pretty much with my one eye open and a cup of coffee. Um, so Tom, it's such a pleasure to see you this morning. Tom Jr. Jackson, my moderator, collaborator, and good friend. It says, "It was a fantastic ceremony, Tom. We witnessed one of the most incredible moments in history." And I think it's important to have traditions. So let's just go ahead and throw out some of these things. I think that these traditions that we're seeing preserved are so important. I think the entire staff of people who are preserving the traditions that keep this type of thing alive are so important. I hope that it continues to be preserved. Clearly, Great Britain sees the importance in it. I hope it continues to be preserved there. And I also hope going forward, other nations will continue to preserve traditions like this. There's no reason why we can't do it. I think it's wonderful to see all of these things happening. That is what kind of keeps us very well set and understanding our role in time. Honestly, it was a fantastic ceremony. Tom Jr. Jackson, so lovely, so enjoyable. I just really, as I said, it felt very modern. Even though the traditions are very ancient, it felt very modern to me. I think it is really, yes, Black Superwoman, absolutely. I think it's very interesting that it didn't feel dated to me. And I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I wasn't quite sure, since it is 2023, what a ceremony like this would be like. Certainly seeing Prince William with his father participating in the ceremony, all the participants, it certainly was wonderful to see the family supporting each other. Now, that's the other thing. In addition to tradition, and hearing my mother tell me about when the king came to or either the king or the prince came to visit St Lucia many years ago, and different family members greeting the prince at the time. It certainly was so important to see the family, and I mean the British royal family, supporting one another at a time like this. It is wonderful to see that. Nige says, "Ah, brilliant. I'll check that out. Hail to the fellowship." Yes. Oh, yes. Good tea house. Good night. Good. I'm sorry. Good tea, nice house does mention that the music was great. Wasn't it lovely? The tradition of having lovely music in these ceremonies and having all that pomp and circumstance is so important, I think. And it was pulled off so brilliantly, so well. I really was so impressed with how it all turned out. And as I said, it didn't feel dated, which was something I was very concerned about. It felt very modern. It felt very timely. This is something that was wonderful about it, that even for a tradition that is centuries old or hundreds of years old, however old it is, it still can feel very fresh and new. Now, something else that's very interesting about this is that, of course, Charles was crowned king, and we also have Camilla, who is his wife. And things have changed quite a bit for this couple. No one knew what was going to happen between them, but I think that things have worked out rather well. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think it could have worked out any better. I think that, they were very lucky, and we've been very lucky. And honestly, I don't know about you, but I've been praying that things would work out for them. I don't wish ill will on anyone. So I'm glad that things have worked out for them, keeping positive, wanting things to go well for people, um, just across the board. So I think that that's so important, to have that state of mind sometimes, even when things may not look ideal, even when things or a situation may not be ideal, to keep that positive thought there. Yes. Oh, Black Superwoman. This is something that's so interesting. Talking about pledging your whole life to a job. Yes. Can you imagine saying that you will forever be bound to something? This is an oath you really cannot walk away from. And I have to admire the person, the individual who decides that they are committed to this, that they're ready to do something like this, that they will go ahead and take the realm on this way. Other thing I was going to say is, I do want to also give credit to the older generation that we saw during the ceremony. We have seen so many mature adults during this entire event, and I am impressed. And I kind of always had said, hey, uh, we don't. What is the older generation? We know what they stand for. We know a lot of their ideals, but oftentimes they kind of disappear into the background, guys. We don't see 50, 60, 70-year-olds as much, do we? But boy, we saw strong presence of mature men and women during the ceremony. And I was proud to see these generations who have done so much are still going strong, still very important ceremonial wise, and still very important um, as part of the community and here in the world. So I also really did like seeing the older generation. How did you guys think about that? Tom Jr. Jackson says, folks, if you don't have anything nice to say, please don't say it. If we have time out, yes. Thank you so much, guys. We're keeping all this positive. This is a celebration for those of us, and we all have different views, but let's keep it on the positive note. And thank you, Tom. You're always looking out for me, always a gentleman, Tom. Um, Now, how many of you got excited when you saw the two crowns there, ready to be placed on Charles's head, ready to be placed on Camilla's head? I thought it was very interesting. Are they the now this is not a I'm not bashing them because they're older, but are they some of the oldest monarchs, newly crowned monarchs we've ever seen? I don't know every single monarch's age that has existed in British history. I certainly don't know that, but it was nice to see older people being crowned as king and queen. I enjoyed that. I think that the focus on their maturity cannot be denied. It was a mature, certainly very calm ceremony that felt very natural. It didn't feel like they weren't ready for it. This was something that I think obviously comes with age, comes experience, but we also have this sort of easement into the role. I thought it was wonderful. Thank you, Tom. When they had to cover the king to put the oil on him was interesting. The anointment is not supposed to be, I guess, televised. There are certain things like signing also are not supposed to be shown in a photograph or on video. That's not supposed to be photographed or videoed. I don't know if that's entirely true or not still, Tom, but it is something to think about, these very sacred moments that they still wish to preserve as sacred, and they will not record them on video. It still has to be very private. And Federation Media, yes, thank you. And guys, please do subscribe to my channel, Positive Fandom, guys. I am the creative content director here on the Burnettwork, but I also have my own YouTube channel. And thank you, Tom, for putting that out there. Nige says, I was so proud to see my new king and queen looking so happy throughout. It's time to wash away the past and move on to the future. I agree, Nige. I think that this is a coronation that stood for a number of different things. That new step, that next step into this new era does feel like a blessing, a new start on something that's going to just blossom. It does feel very positive. It feels very encouraging. It feels very celebratory. It feels so incredibly wonderful. This is a good feeling that we're having here. And I think we deserve it. I think that through all the troubles in life, moments like this where we can celebrate something like this, moving on to the future, it's so important to see that. Hey, no worries, S Beam. We certainly do appreciate you, S Beam. So no worries with that. We're just glad that you are here. Yes. Black Superwoman says, I can't imagine giving 70 years of my life to something. Most people aren't even married that long anymore. Yes, that's something to think about this level of commitment and the length of time it will be, obviously, for King Charles's rest of his life. And I have a feeling he's going to be around for quite some time. I think we're going to, God save the king, but long live King Charles. But I think he will be around for quite some time. And I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to that as well. Guys, I do want to mention that I'm streaming this both on Positive Fandom and on the Burnettwork, guys. So some of you may be watching me on Positive Fandom, my YouTube channel. Some of you may be watching me on the Burnettwork. Regardless of where you're watching, I do want to say I'm so glad that many of you are here just celebrating and enjoying this wonderful occasion of the coronation of King Charles and Queen Camilla on this incredible May 6th day. It is so wonderful to see this event and to see all of you here. And thank you, Black Superwoman. Yeah, I can't remember who the oldest crown person was, but perhaps it's the oldest in our lifetime, Black Superwoman. I'm not sure, but I did just want to mention it. Yeah, Nige says not everyone could commit like that. The monarchy continues tirelessly. Where can we put our feet up? Where we can put our feet up. It's almost 24 hours a day for them. And that is something else. It's like you can't, do they even get days off? I think for many of us, we can go ahead and decide if we're not feeling well, that we can, tell our bosses and say we're not well. Can I please take a day off? But I don't believe they could do that. I heard one of the announcers say that Charles has 400 appearances per annum every year. 400 appearances. Can you imagine what that must be like for an individual to have to be on point 400 times out of a 365-day year? It is astounding, guys. It is just astounding. Now, I do want to mention this. Good Tea Nice House says, the moment they crowned Camilla, I couldn't help but think of Princess Diana. And I think that we are um do have no, I think for many of us, we can't help but think about Diana on a day like this, and of course she left us too soon. Certainly, we do wish that she were still alive. But I also thought about Diana. We couldn't not think about her, seeing her children there, her and Charles's children in along in the ceremony with their families. Certainly, I hope she's in a better place, and we certainly do you know respect everything that she's done for so many people around the world. Princess Diana will not be forgotten. Good tea, nice house. Oh, thank you, Black Superwoman. He is the oldest crowned king. Well, you know something? That's something I never thought I would witness. Can you believe it? We were alive when the oldest crowned British king uh, became king. Can you believe that? Isn't that not the most amazing thing? Um, it certainly is something to think about. Um, Hello, the restart point. How are you this morning? Hope you are well. And the restart point says, I think the royal family has had its problems just like any family does, but it shows they are normal people under all the pomp, which isn't a bad thing. And that is very true. That is very true. Something to think about, and certainly very important to mention that they are people just like you and I. They do have different trials and concerns, and it certainly does make them a little different. I think that the perception of Will and Kate that we have now as modern monarchs is very different than what people could have thought in the past of what the monarch will become. I think that this uh, their modernity will define the monarch going forward. But I think that King Charles also is someone who doesn't necessarily feel old fashioned to me, because he has had innovative ideas as Prince Charles from day one. So it is very interesting to see these two leaders and the soon to be leader, Will, Prince William, eventually. But it is very interesting to see this. I think Charles certainly has taken on this role. I think he certainly um is in a position where he's not really um going to say that this isn't going to be a challenge. And, one person had mentioned how, and this is, I think, very important, that Charles has been, obviously king since the passing of Queen Elizabeth, and has proved himself that he can govern as king. And so that is very true in that regard. I think he certainly has taken on the role with grace, with dignity, and has earned the right to celebrate his role as king. And Tom, I'm sorry, thank you so much. Thank you, Tom, for doing this, guys. As if you don't know, Tom is actually moderating two chats at the same time. Tom, I wish I could combine them, but I don't know how. But I did just want to mention this, um certainly how important this is to me. um and it is relevant. If it was not relevant, certainly it wouldn't be broadcast throughout the world. I did have a lot of pride, everybody. Um, yes, Black Superwoman does make a point about this. Um, I did have a lot of pride in seeing the St. Lucian flag, as I was watching on television. All of the Commonwealth realm nations have their flags displayed there and present during this coronation. And as I mentioned to you, my family is from St. Lucia. It's not the only country, but I have St. Lucian heritage. Um, I am African and European, just to be clear. But I did just want to talk about how important it was, just even to me, to see that St. Lucian flag. I'm just going to show it to you really quick. Um, as I was watching the ceremony, I noticed the St. Lucian flag right away. I hope I have it in front of me here. I do have to show it because I am very proud of that heritage. And if you look in the picture here, you'll see a flag. I don't know if it's going to show. Yeah, here it is. You see that blue and yellow flag? That blue and yellow flag, guys, is the flag of St. Lucia. That one there. It's got a triangle on it. The triangles are the pitons in St. Lucia. We've got two of them. They're extinct volcanoes on the island. And so you can imagine how excited I was when I saw not only a flag bearer holding the St. Lucian flag, but there was also the Grenadian flag and a Jamaican flag. There were quite a few Caribbean nations that were Commonwealth realms now represented with the flags. But seeing the flag as I was watching the crowds walking, through, I guess it was the mall. I think they call it Paul Mall. On the mall, you could see the flag there, and I was so proud to see the island nation there with the flag, part of the Commonwealth realm. It felt wonderful to see that. Also, DJ B2 says, my mom has been watching it. I've not. Yeah, well, DJ, yeah, I hope you were well too, DJ. Hope everything is great with you. Certainly so glad to see that. um, Nige says, thinking about Diana is fine. We love her. People can't help who they love. It seems Charles and Camilla love each other and have always loved each other. And we certainly could feel the love today, couldn't we? We could feel the love between these two monarchs, and we could feel the love in the church. We could feel the love on the streets and throughout the world as the ceremony took place. I think it's so important, Nige, to mention the presence of love during this ceremony and the presence of hope and joy during the ceremony, not just for the family, but also for the officials, the clergy who were there. It certainly was quite pervasive. And it's a good feeling. I think that's such a good feeling. Yes, I prefer noodling my SG, and I am an Englishman. Understood, DJ B2. Certainly wonderful to see you, DJ. Hey, 66 Starship Alien, how are you? Says, wow, you have a tiara. I'm a Brit, over 1,500 years of English bloodline, and royalty ruled our country for 1,500. Politicians only ruled from the 18th century, and we're only administrative. That's a good point, guys. I have to cough 1 second. Sorry. Hey, 66 Starship Alien, I got this from Walmart. It's from Walmart. And if you go into Walmart, they're like $20. Um, they're inexpensive. I have this one is actually my mother's, but it was more comfortable because when I put on the one that's mine, which is this one, it was too tight, like it was pressing against my head and it really hurt. So I had to take it off. This is the one I wore last night during musings. As you can see, it's just for fun. My mother and I do like to dress up. We like to get dolled up and dressed up to the nines whenever there is a big event like this. This is so important to us to celebrate it, to be dressed well. 66 Starship Alien. For us, this is an incredibly important ceremony. My mother is resting right now, but she was dressed up very nicely. And certainly the tiara does mean something to us. It means that we are dressing our best and looking our best, 66 Starship Alien. And certainly it is so wonderful to see you this today, 66 Starship Alien. I hope you were well. And thank you so much for letting us know about that tradition for over 1,500 years, 66 Starship Alien. And we hope for maybe 1,500 years more. We want to see that tradition continue, right? I want to see it continue. We don't know what will happen with the politicians, but it doesn't matter. As far as I'm concerned, keeping that monarchy and bloodline there is so important. And thank you for sharing that with us. Um, Also, thank you so much, Albion. Mal, right? It's Mal, Pal Mal. Um, Tom says when the Queen passed, Charles was heard saying, "This is the day he dreaded happening." Yeah, because he knew it was about to come real. It is true. And you know something? I think that we did mourn her, and now this is this joyous day that is so wonderful, so celebratory, right, Tom? 66 Starship Alien says, I think royalty will be updated in the next 20 years, but the historical situation for Charles III continues. Yes, it will be updated, and certainly something very interesting to see. Hey, DJ B2 says he has Celtic names family. Isn't that interesting? DJ B2 really love to hear that type of thing. Yes. And of course they are mixed. Yes. Yeah, you can get them from Walmart. They're about $20. They have a bridal section. They have a bridal section, so you can get them there. And they're actually quite sturdy. Like as far as a a faux tiara, it's a nice amount of metal. You can see it's kind of thick. It's like a thick metal. And if you go to the bridal section in any Walmart or Tesco, maybe Tesco has them. I haven't checked in England when I was there whether they had them. And there's a loop at the end. The loop is for you put a ribbon on it and you're supposed to tie the ribbon so that the tiara stays in place. I didn't tie this one. This one I just slid on my head. So it's a little loose, but when you tie it on, it's not going to fall off. You don't want the tiara to fall off. And I think it is a nice head decoration. Certainly a lot of fun to celebrate this wonderful day. Oh, thank you, Starship Alien. Thank you so much. I love you too. And there is a lot of love here today, isn't there? There is a lot of love. I did want to mention that. Black Superwoman says, click the like button. Yes, guys, click the like button. If you're watching on the Burnettwork, if you're watching on Positive Fandom, please do click the like button. And it is true, Black Superwoman. He finally has a job, and it's up to him to do it. Hey, Saram, walk us to classic RMB Burnettwork. Yes. Saram, how are you? Hope you are well. Yes, you did work. Yeah. Tesco. Yeah. It is something. Hey, Vincent McGlone. I can't I can't pronounce this, but thank you. I hope it's something that's nice. I hope it's a nice comment. Thank you so much. I don't even know what language that is. Is that Welsh? Guys, help me out. Vincent, welcome to the channel, and I hope you are well. Yes. I love you, 66 Starship Alien says, I'll get one at Coles Supermarket in Australia. I'm in the office one day next week and I'm wearing one. Well, good for you, 66 Starship Alien. Let's get our tiaras ready. There's absolutely no reason why we can't wear this and enjoy the occasion and have fun with it. It is Celtic. Thank you, DJ. Thank you so much. It's Celtic. Thank you so much for that. That is so wonderful for doing that. Vincent McGlone. I don't know what it means, but of course it's a celebration for England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. And I know that there are some political issues there, but I'm just celebrating the Commonwealth, all the nations together today, a celebration for all of us on such a momentous occasion. Guys, please do click the like button if you like what you're seeing today. I have a few more minutes for this stream about how amazing this day has been. Hey, Cody Beaudreau for a $5 super chat says, I have no clue what's going on, but I love playing dress up. You are making me laugh, Cody. Certainly do appreciate the $5 super chat. Cody, I hope this finds you well. And of course, this is about King Charles and Queen Camilla's coronation and how important it is to those of us who celebrate traditions like this, who appreciate what has been happening, what we've been able to witness, and how important it is in our lives, as well as our descendants coming forward, going forward. Yes, the tiara. I absolutely see you there, 66 Starship Alien. Yes, yes. You know something? This is something to think about. Read by nature, something to think about because we are seeing monarchs do this recently. Pretty recently, we've been seeing monarchs and leaders going ahead and doing this. I think the King of Spain did this. He stepped down, right? it will be interesting to see how long Charles' reign lasts, whether he'll step aside eventually to see William become king or continue on like his mom. And you know something? Regardless, regardless, um, what happens, um, regardless as to what happens, whatever he decides to do, if he wants to reign for 5 or 10 years and then step aside, I support him. I support the king. I support the monarchy, the British monarchy, and I wish him all the best. Read by nature. Yes. Kobe says Welsh maternal side. Well, Kobe, so glad to see you. Luminara 843, the queen of flex of 1/6 scale flex is here. Luminar 843, hello to you, my dear. I hope you are well, and it is a pleasure to see you. Stavros says, hi, Stavros says, just got done with the show. Stavros, I have it playing on the big TV. I have it on my phone over there. I have it on my tablet over there. My entire room is filled with the coronation. So it looks like you're in the coronation here. Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, thank you, Stavros. You are so kind, Stavros. Always appreciate you. 66 Starship Alien says, I think Charles won't abdicate to William. He will pass, then William will get the crown. Yeah, I have a feeling that that may happen. However it goes, we will be there to see what happens, and certainly something to think about. Justin Channel says, haha, what a great TRRM and what a fun day just getting. It is a great day. It is a fun day just getting in. And this is what we're talking about, this tradition, this wonderful passing on of the crown to King Charles and to Camilla, who have been such a fantastic couple since they have been married, since they've started this new chapter in their life. It's been wonderful to see how they have become this wonderful team together and certainly working together. Here we have Read by Nature says, if we just went through the second Elizabethan age, are we now in the Charleston age? I don't know. Are we? Does anybody know? I have no idea. It is exciting to think about, right? Read by Nature. Certainly something to think about. It's the Charleston age. Certainly a new era, isn't it, guys? A new era. Um, yeah. This is something to think about, and the idea of how long he will rule. I think it's going to be a good long time, guys. I think it's going to be a good long time. Um, Nige, thank you so much. Wow, so wow. Well, you know something. This is a celebratory day. Nige says, "I love the stream. I literally walked in my home after celebrating, and your stream dropped. So cool. Thank you, Nige. Certainly that. Yeah, Black Superwoman. You make a good point. William is enjoying his family life. As soon as he becomes king, there are so many things he won't be able to do, and I think he's enjoying the role of his family life. I think he's happy there. I think he and Kate, it would be great if they had personally another 15 years of just being able to enjoy their lives and their family, watch their children grow up and not have to be kind of separated immediately from that existence there. Thalia says, I heard that Queen Camilla's crown, the Queen Mary crown, was specially reworked to avoid. Yes, this is true. The Kohinoor is decorating the crown. Yes. And yes, a lot of these gemstones are from other countries, and how they were acquired, only no one knows. Some of it does have some kind of precedence, some of it doesn't. Something to think about. We'll see what happens. I mean, a lot of these shifts of antiquities and gemstones and things, but there's no need to even worry about it, because there are plenty of gemstones out there to go around these days, guys. There's so much out there that has been mined that can be replaced in the crown. Remember, the crown jewels were destroyed once, right? And then replaced at some point. Excuse me. Albion says, my mother used to tell me about Elizabeth's coronation, and funny enough, she lived on Coronation Road. I remember going to a street party when I was 7 for Elizabeth's Silver Jubilee. What a great memory, Albion. And we love to hear things like that on such a wonderful day. It's certainly great to see something as wonderful as that these days, guys. And also want to thank, I think we had another one. Aw, Thank you so much. You guys are so kind here. Stavros says, I also support King Charles in my lifetime. I get to see this. Princess Diana must be smiling. I think so. I think she's very proud of her children, Stavros. I think she's very proud of everything that has happened so far, and I think that she would want Charles to do well. And I think that that's something that's very important. 66 Charles 66 Starship Alien says, I love Arden's tiara, but Camilla Consorts is worth billions. I'd be scared to wear that. I trip and break it. Yeah, me too. I wouldn't know what to do. They would say, why are you touching it? I'd be like, I needed to move it. They're like, no, 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 don't touch it. I would be constantly shifting it and moving it around. And they would say, no, you can't do that. The gems will fall out or something. And I do want to thank Saya Dream. Hi, Saya Dream. How are you? For a $5 super chat, Saya Dream. So appreciate the generosity here with these super chats today, everybody. For tea and biscuits to celebrate. Have a great day. Well, thank you, Saya Dream. I do appreciate it. It's wonderful that you are doing that. Thank you so much. Certainly, we'll go to Tea and Biscuits to celebrate. And you have a great day as well, Side Dream. And also a super chat for Thoughts on Fitness with Nigel. Excuse me. For a £4.99 super chat. Thank you. Thoughts on Fitness with Nige. Thank you so much. Been following R&B all week. Now I'll be following you. Oh, do take care. Thank you so much. So appreciate that. That is so wonderful. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be wrapping up this 1 hour stream on my thoughts of King Charles and Queen Camilla's coronation. And I so appreciate all of you who stopped by, who've given your comments, with DJ B2 saying he or she was two for the Silver Jubilee. Such a wonderful memory. Yes, if his mother and father are anything to go by, it's going to be 30 years, right? Thoughts on night fitness? Thoughts on fitness with Nige? Yeah, it will be, I think, a while. Thalia says that the coronation of Queen Elizabeth is the first major live television broadcast that my mother saw. She always mentioned it. I'm sure she is with me in spirit today. Oh, absolutely. Certainly, Thalia. What a sweet memory. Thank you for sharing that with us. And of course, Black Superwoman. DJ B2 says, have a good one, all laters. Absolutely. Thalia, Black Superwoman says, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Certainly, absolutely. And Ludnut6, you know I love your comments. You are so nice to say these lovely things about me. Thank you, Ludnut6. You are a celestial princess of love. Thank you so much, Ludnut6. And I so appreciate you guys too. Justin Channel says, Arma, you're going back to streaming Survivors today? Of course. I will be streaming Jedi Survivor on my channel every single day. Don't you worry, have no fear, Justin Channels. I will always be doing that every day, streaming about an hour of gaming on my channel, Positive Phantom. So don't worry, my dear Justin Channels. It is coming up. And 66 Starship Alien, thank you. Oh, for $10 Australian. That is so generous. Thank you so much. Says, thanks, Art. I think most people think that Charles III ceremony is kitsch, but British royalty goes way back, more than people know. 400 AD. That's why the Brits are so protective. Appreciate your stream. Well, thank you so much, 66 Starship Alien. I certainly do appreciate it as well. I think that it is so important that we do protect these traditions, that we keep these traditions sacred, that we continue to support them and continue to actually perform them. We need to see ceremonies like this. It is so important. 66 Starship Alien for $10 Australian. So appreciate your generosity to the channel, and we appreciate you as well, 66 Starship Alien. Thank you so much for that. Thoughts on fitness with Nige continues on to say, well said, Savros. Federation Media noted from our mint, we will be inviting our engravers as well as artists from our database of more than 350 coin artists of all backgrounds in all parts of Canada to participate. Absolutely. An hour meaning if she's having a good time, enjoy the ride. Yes, that is very true. And guys, I'm going to be wrapping this up. Thank you so much. Yes, I did see the Canadian Mounties. I did see the Canadian Mounties, Albion. I certainly always look for them, the RCMP, in every single British ceremony. I always look for their representation, and I did see them. 66 Starship Alien, thank you again so much for your generosity. Everybody, thank you so much for everything. Aw, Justin's channels. I've not been super chatting anywhere, but I'm probably going to pop up on our channel rather. Okay. All right. No worries. Hey, oh, yeah, that's true. He does have that. Just so glad to see you all, guys. It's about us coming together and celebrating these things that are important to us in our culture, especially something as important as the coronation of King Charles and Queen Camilla today. Such a pleasure to spend this time with all of you. Such a pleasure to see you all here today celebrating this incredible coronation. Yes, lug nuts. Yes, from 5 a.m. I am exhausted, guys. I don't even know how my eyes are open right now, but I'm so excited. And I think it's important for us to come together for moments like this. I so appreciate the support. I do want to thank Tom Jr. Jackson again, my moderator, my collaborator, and friend here on the Burnettwork, here on Positive Fandom. Guys, we all love those puppies. I really want to have one of those puppies. Maybe one of these days. I want to thank everybody for today. I also want to show my support and wish King Charles and Queen Camilla well. This is a wonderful time for everybody, guys. This is a celebration. Thank you all for watching, guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you, S Beam, as well. Thank you, S Beam, as always, a wonderful creator and a fantastic supporter of the channel. Also, another great friend, guys. So I do want to thank you all for watching. Thank you, Tom. Again, we are all goof people, Tom, Junior Jackson. And thank you, everybody who gave super chats today. I just absolutely am so happy on this wonderful coronation day. What a special day. What a wonderful time to spend it with the people from our community here on the fandom in the PGS. Oh, thank you so much again. 66 Starship Alien. You are a kindred spirit, my dear. And everybody, yes, enjoy your days. Guys, enjoy everything, okay? Uh Absolutely, Black Superwoman. See you all. Um, God bless you all, guys. And thank you so much for watching, guys. And always remember, no matter where you are in the galaxy, always remember to please be kind, guys. Take care, everybody.